From now on, I might do individual reviews because I can't batch it like this. Like, it was fine when I had school videos because, say, I've watched a film every day. So, I go to the cinema Monday night to watch the film. I'll do the review on Tuesday school video. Tuesday night, I watch a film, do a Wednesday's video, etc. Now the school videos are gone, I can't really do it anymore. So, I batch it for a very long time, longer than I really should. I know, but I'm going to the cinema in a couple of days, so I'll just wait a couple of days. So, there may be things that I miss in this video. Also, I'm going to be playing AC while I'm talking. So, final review, The Flash, I'm going to do this like I did my Arrow vinyl review, at least what I remember my Arrow vinyl review being like, where I went for each individual season. So, season 1 was a great introduction to all the characters, and they made a spin-off of Arrow, and even though tonally and in any other way it is the complete opposite of Arrow, it still works. Like, other spin-offs are usually exactly the same, like, say, NCIS LA and New Orleans and Hawaii and also now Sydney. But this was like truly different. Anyway, Reverse Flash, I think was done quite well. That's all I have to say about it. Season 2 is possibly the best season. I think Zoom. If Reverse Flash isn't the best, then Zoom definitely is. Villains wise. Although they did point out in the very last episode that Zoom just sort of did what Fawn did, where it was like, go undercover, work with the Flash, pretend to be a good guy and all. I didn't even notice that when I watched season 2. But I still think that season 2 was fun. I think most people who've actually genuinely seen the show will agree that season 2 was actually good. Like, people will be like, the show sucks because blah blah blah, when they haven't seen it. But people who have seen the show, I think most people will say that season 2 was actually good. Anyway, season 3, that aired around the same time as season 5 of Arrow. Wasn't the biggest fan of season 5 of Arrow. My problem with it was that it had that Remember Me writing. And season 3 didn't have that, of The Flash. But I don't know. I think the first problem was the fact that they had Flashpoint be one episode when maybe not an entire season, but they should have had it as a multi-episode arc. Kind of like when Ollie goes to prison in season 7 of Arrow, whereas, like, I think 7 episodes where he's in prison. Anyway. So Savitar, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I do think that the writing where, Barry sees Iris die, like Savitar kills her, and then they reveal to be that actually it was whatever Wells sacrificing himself because they sort of shape shifting. I'm making it sound like it's a bunch of shit, but when you watch it, it's actually not genius, but smart. That was done well, because the whole season Wells was just an absolute pussy. Didn't really do anything with his life compared to the other Wells, but then he made a sacrifice, and that sort of redeemed him. Anyway, season 4 aired at the same time as season 6 of Arrow. I hated season 6 of Arrow. I think season 4 of The Flash is even worse. It's the first time where there was a non-speedster big bad. They had the Thinker this time. The Thinker. Something I forgot to mention about Savitar. The Ezra Miller version of Savitar is much better. I should have put a spoiler warning up, but the film has been out for 2 weeks, and if you haven't seen it already, then you're probably one of the people that just refuses to see it. So, The Thinker sucked. The Peter Capaldi version was much better. There were some good moments of season 4, like they introduced Ralph in that episode. Season 4 was Crisis on Earth-X. That was a good crossover. Something about season 3 and 4 is that I don't like the fact that they're like, you need to go into the Speed Force and stay in the Speed Force for whatever reason. And then they break them out of the Speed Force. But I was just writing tension for the sake of tension. That didn't feel natural to me. Anyway. But the end of season 4 where that random weird girl is actually Nora. I think that was... could have been done... Probably could have been done better, but... I like what we got. Season 5 was a massive increase in quality. Aired at the same time as season 7 of Arrow, and that's the same thing. Season 7 is possibly my favourite season of Arrow. Season 5 is not my favourite, but it is number 3. I like Nora, I like Cicada. The fact that this sort of had 2 villains, because it was initially Cicada, then it was his daughter. That was but also the bit where it is quite stupid for them to use the same shard Cicada used to restrain Reverse Flash, but it did lead to some based writing of that. I said this in the year 5 breakdown, I think, of school, but hold on. So that had to blow my nose along with a couple other things. So, last I remember talking about was they had Cicada, then Cicada's daughter. I think season 6 onwards does it better. At least, kind of. And I don't have anything else to say about season 5. I'm just going to repeat myself at this point. So, moving on to season 6, part 1. Because from season 6 onwards, they officially do 2 villains a season. Season 5 had it, but they didn't really break it down, plus technically they were the same villain, just whatever. So season 6 part 1 was was good. Like, on par, maybe very slightly worse than season 5, like, so slightly to the point where it's not even noticeable. You know, then you had Crisis, then after that you had Part 2. Now, this is, when I say Part 2, that's also including the last, say, 3 episodes, or sorry, the first 3 episodes of season 7, because Corona happened and they couldn't finish the season. So, yeah. It was better than people say it is, but the worst that the show had been at that point. So season 7, part 1 was not that good. Also, season 7 onwards is a bit complicated because they decided, you know, first 3 episodes is the end of season 6, part 2, that's fine, but then you had, like, part 1 of season 7 was, say, only 4 episodes or something like that, maybe 6, where they had the different forces, and it was like going back and forth between, is the Speed Force bad guy, is the all the others bad, and the Strength Force is the worst CGI to ever exist. But then they do an interlude. They don't immediately go to part 2. Like, the only thing that broke up part 1 and part 2 of season 6 was Crisis. Which, that's fine, because Crisis is the most important thing in the Arrowverse. But in this, I don't remember what it was, but it was just random shit. And nah. They should have extended part 1. Which, like, you know, they did what, 20, I'm just going to say 21 episodes, I think, of season 7. So if you take away the 3 that was actually season 6, that's 18. Should have done 9 episodes of part 1 and 9 episodes of part 2. But no, part 2 was only like 4 episodes, and I was waiting for part 2 for quite a while, because for one, part 2 was Godspeed, and Godspeed has been built up since season 5. You know, it had an episode that was all about Nora. Season 5 takes place in the 2040s. Godspeed is her reverse Flash. That was a good episode. But then season 6, there was also an episode of Godspeed, I'm pretty sure. Then season 7, these parts have names. So I think season 7 part 2 is called like the Godspeed Imperative or something like that. And season 7 part 1 also had like God or Speed or something in the title, so I thought that season 7 was all Godspeed. But no, it was only like 4 episodes, and then Godspeed is actually really fucking pathetic. He's only, like, the only thing that makes him like a threat is the fact that he replicates himself. And I'm just gonna put this out there. I think that's what Kang will be like in the MCU. He'll end up being one Kang is nothing, but it's the fact that there's an infinite amount of them that he's a threat. I hope I'm wrong about that. Anyway. So, part 1 of season 7 was not that good. Part 2 was disappointing, but it could have been worse. The interludes should not exist. Moving on to season 8, Armageddon was disappointing. I'm glad that they use it to finish off storylines that never got finished because of the corona and stuff. Like season 8, episode 9 of Arrow was a backdoor pilot for a spin-off about Mia, but that never went anywhere because they decided to cancel it because of corona. So they finished up that story for the most part in Armageddon and a couple other things. Can't think what else. The structure of Armageddon could have been better. Also, I want to mention that I've read the Armageddon comic. I'm glad that this is loose because an accurate adaptation of Armageddon would not go well. What we got wasn't that good, but it was better than it could have been if it were accurate. I'll comment more on Armageddon when I get to season 9 part 2 because there is a comparison that I want to make. Anyway, I can't speak. I'm talking like I have a cold or something, but I don't. Well, fingers crossed I don't. Season 8 part 1, I actually don't remember what that is. Something to do with death or something called Death Storm. So my only thing about that is that it's forgettable. Excuse that sound. I'm getting my tablet out. I need to take my tablet. So it's forgettable. Also, I think that might be when they introduced Clubland. He is the most useless character in the show. He has no reason to exist whatsoever. And then there's another interlude. Shouldn't exist. So part 2, I remember there was some girl, she's a scientist, she ends up becoming a speedster, but it's like the negative speed force, I believe. Her partner, who might be her boyfriend, I don't remember, is like Eobard Fawn, but he doesn't know he's Eobard Fawn. And then for like the last two episodes, he like peels his face off, so it's not Matt Letcher, it's actually Tom Cavanagh. That's an excuse to bring Tom Cavanagh in. I fucking love Tom Cavanagh. I think it's that. Oops. I keep my tablet in a cup. I just keep loads of stuff in a cup. And I put the cup down without looking where I was putting that and ended up hitting the bottle. Anyway, it was just an excuse to bring him back. Which, he's fantastic. I think he's better than Matt Letcher, but they shouldn't sacrifice quality just to bring him back. So, last thing I want to mention about season 8 is that Frost dies at the end of part 1. And then Mark and Caitlin try and bring her back, and Caitlin like does some shit with a machine, and like they're like, oh, we're going to bring Frost back, and a person steps out and is like, who are you? And then they don't reveal till season 9. So that had some character called Kyun I liked Keown, but they were better off just having Caitlyn or Snow. Wait. Caitlyn or Frost. I mean. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, that's all to say about that. So, season 9. Part 1, I enjoyed, although there were a couple scenes, like the fact that they try and the fact that the Batman 2022 had the "I'm Vengeance" line and had Red Death as the villain of Part 1, who is Batman, well, Batwoman in this. Had the "I'm Vengeance" line, which that was just cringe. I think there's a couple scenes where she just screams for no reason. I could be wrong, could be thinking of something else. That's also not good. And there was another interlude, which lasted 3 episodes. The first episode, I remember these interludes because it was not that long ago I watched it. So, episode 1 was just some random one-off villain from season 4 who has the power of luck, but anyone around her has bad luck. It's kind of like that show Lucky Man. That had no, they should have cut that out. You can tell that they only wrote that because they couldn't think of any way to stretch out the actual, part 1, part 2. So, episode 2 actually does have a reason to exist, or at least kind of. They brought back Nia, because I don't think they actually finished his story in Supergirl. I can't remember. And then episode 3, they brought back Bloodwork because he said, oh, I'm going to play the long game. And this was him doing that. And also they brought back Oliver, but I was a bit disappointed with it because I thought... I mean, I knew that they weren't going to bring him back from the dead, but this kind of felt forced. But it was still really enjoyable, and they sort of explained how all the post-crisis stuff works, finally. Even though at this point there's only 4 episodes left after this of the entire Arrowverse. The reason why I keep pausing the video is because I keep on having to blow my nose. Anyway. So, it was great seeing Oliver again, so it was fine. I have no problem with those 2 related episodes, but I think they're the only ones that I don't have a problem with, except for actually Frost's funeral. That was fine. So, season 9 part 2 is, in my opinion, kind of similar to Armageddon. And I'm not just saying that because they had their own custom title card thing. I think New World was done much better structure-wise. Still wasn't the best, but also it was great seeing everyone again, even the people that I didn't like Savitar and Godspeed. I know people complain that it was disrespectful for them to bring these people back only from to be defeated in 5 seconds, basically. I didn't have a problem with that because it shows how they have gotten better at doing their job over time. Yeah. Oh, for the last episode, the fight was fucking amazing. The music, I don't know who does music, but they need to be paid more. It a bit disappointing that half the episode was spent just on, it's all over. I feel like Supergirl had the same sort of thing, but this was better than how Supergirl did it, because what Supergirl did was that they had the last 2 episodes air on the same day. So, the second last episode ended, you're like, oh, but have a big fight. But then there's just Lex and Nyxly are sucked into the Phantom Zone, and that's it. After 30 seconds, and the rest of it is just I forget Kara's sister name. Her wedding. Nothing else I can really say about that. So I'm conflicted because they should have extended the fight, but I understand why they didn't. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, universally negative ratings. I've seen it in cinema. Harrison Ford, Mads Mikkelsen, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I had a feeling that guy was Antonio Banderas. Anyway, Boyd Holbrook, I don't think. George Lucas appears out. Toby Jones. This film fucking sucks. It's better than most people say it is, but it's still not good. For one, Helena Shaw, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is just, her entire thing is just politics. There's a scene where I don't remember who starts with it, what either Mads Mikkelsen or Harrison Ford says that they stole the Dial of Destiny, and the other person says then I stole it, and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge says then I stole it. It's called capitalism, when that's not ignoring the fact that it's not capitalism. I'm tired of politics appearing and shit. I just want to go to cinema, watch an adventure film, and be entertained. That's it. I had a feeling going into it that even despite her being like that, I had a feeling she would still be sort of badass, kind of like Bishop or Knight in NCIS. Nope. She lies to Indy a lot for no reason. I just, it's like, I just like stealing things, yeah, really, so it's just a coincidence that you're going after that thing that drove your dad crazy. Yeah. And then they never explain that. There are a couple of flashback scenes, and instead of making, it's probably impossible to make him look younger with how old he is and all, using makeup and all that. They were better off just getting a lookalike actor. But no, they have to use AI, and it's okay for the most part, but there are some scenes where it doesn't look good. It kind of looks like those, like on YouTube you'll see like concept trailers where it's like, I don't know, for example, Sherlock meets Doctor Who, where you can tell it's fake. They've just taken scenes from both shows and put them together, and I hate my nose again. There are also some points where he just looks like a child. Anyway, there were quite a few continuity mistakes. Like, for one, there's a scene where Helena's like her sort of partner is kidnapped. He gets kidnapped, and then they handcuff him to one of the guys. And you like, they're sort of like going single file on a bridge. Single file on a bridge. There is someone behind the guy. But then in the very next scene, like, it's not like, you know, the cut back to Indy and Helena. No, that it's very next shot. They're at the very end of the line when they were second and third last. There's also some things that I might be wrong about this, but it seems stupid. It's like they find this wax thing. It's made out of wax and wood. And Indy thinks, yeah, I'm right. This is heavier than it should be. You know, for wax and wood, it's very heavy. So he burns it, and they find gold under it, but he burns it on a wooden desk. I'm going to explain more. They're in a boat, and he burns on a wooden part of the boat. Why wouldn't the boat go up? Maybe I'm wrong, but that seems like what would really happen to me. And they didn't think about this. Anyway, I think that, Mads Mikkelsen's character also sucks. He doesn't really do much. At the start, he's just some nerdy guy, and he's like, we need to focus on the dial. He gets shot, I think, and hit, like, you know, when you have like people on a train in like an action film or something, usually someone will get hit by like one of the signs if they're dangling on the side or something. That happens to him, but somehow he lives with no scars or anything. I get that they're not that like make him be exactly the same as his character from Casino Royale, but still, just at that point, just don't make him get hit by the sign. Find some other way to knock him out for now so that Indy can get away for like 20 years. Also, he dies in a plane crash. Like, so what happens is that it turns out that the Dial Destiny is basically makes time travel possible, and end up time traveling back to the Roman days. And like when they go through the portal, they're in a plane. When they go through the portal, the plane's engine cuts out, and they get shot at by the Romans or whoever. And that causes them to crash and they'll die. Like, at that point, there's basically no reason for his character to exist. How the hell did Mads Mikkelsen look at that script and think, yeah, this is good? So I've only reviewed 2 things in this video. I feel like there's a shit ton more, but I don't think I've seen any movies. Hold on, let me pull up Netflix. So I don't think there's anything, because what I remember is that, I watched a Dave Chappelle special at my granny's, and then I started a Cat Williams one, and then finished it at my grandpa's. And then I watched another Dave Chappelle one, and then I watched part of a film, but I didn't finish the film. I'm pretty sure I did those reviews. But if I look at continue watching, there's nothing here that I haven't done. So I'm so just fuck. So no movies, no shows, because I haven't been watching a lot lately. Other than NCIS, but that's still ongoing, and there was The Flash, but I just did the final review for that. No books, no comics. So that's why I'm gonna do small reviews from now on, even if it ends up just being a short